Good morning, and welcome to our first episode, First Things First. Welcome to your 18 Now What? Thank you for joining me on this great Tuesday. I'm Dr. Catherine Gilstein, and I am looking forward to empowering you with information about financial literacy. I will be posting new episodes every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. I'll give you a little background about myself and why I created this podcast, and why financial literacy and economic empowerment are important to me. And in case you were wondering, this podcast is for any age and any person that wants a better relationship with their money and navigating day-to-day stuff. I'm not sure if any of you had the same experience growing up, but when I was a kid, no one explained anything about money or bills or rent. I remember asking about the electric bill or the gas bill and my mom saying, "You're a kid, you don't need to worry about that. Your job is to go to school, get an education, make sure you can take care of yourself." What did that exactly mean? I wasn't entirely sure, but I knew that I loved school, and I was definitely going to college. I also loved the car that my uncle drove, so if I could go to college and get a car, I was all in. I received a bachelor's degree in finance and management and spent about 20 plus years in the financial services and retail banking industries. My roles ranged from teller to personal banker to manager, and I went from the basics of opening checking and savings accounts, helping people secure personal loans and home equity loans, to assisting people with realizing their financial dreams through investments, annuities, and insurance. For me, getting an MBA was always a personal goal of mine. So once I achieved that, I eventually left banking and went into teaching economics at the college level. How hard could it be? I've spent the last 10 years in academia, and I've loved teaching and learning from my students. I completed my PhD in business while teaching and continued to teach economics and other business related courses, leading me to become the program director for organizational leadership at the graduate level. During these teaching experiences, I've met so many students wanting to know more about money that went well beyond what I was teaching in an economics or an operations management course. It wasn't one or two students, it was dozens, each and every semester. I found myself talking to students after class and in the hallways, answering their questions about money and finances. I received emails about opening accounts and buying cars. I was also incorporating personal finance into any course that I could, so that students would understand the real life scenarios they would eventually encounter and be able to apply once they left my class and once they graduated. Even friends and family asked me about finances, budgets, credits, my thoughts about buying things that are big purchases, and so on. I felt a passion for writing my book and creating this podcast. So let's get started. It's a new year, so Happy New Year, everyone. Everyone is talking about all the things that they want to do or improve upon or change. Getting familiar with your money should also be on the list, but don't look to change everything all at once. Think about this. If you go to the gym one time, will you be ripped? If you eat healthy for one day, will you lose 10 pounds? If you meditate one time, will you have a healthy mindset? Not at all. Consistency is key. Things take time, and with time and consistent efforts, you will be where you want to be. Whether that is having a healthy mindset at your goal weight, or my favorite and the reason you are listening here, friends with your finances. I know that there are a lot of finance podcasts out there and a lot on investing your money. This podcast is not all about investing, although we will cover that. It's not a get rich quick one or follow what I do so you could be a millionaire or invest this percentage of your money podcast. This is just solid, basic financial literacy information. And once you have a better understanding of what money is and what it can do for you, you will thrive. Money is important, yet courses on financial literacy at the middle school or high school level are few and far between. You might remember taking a personal finance course when you had to pick a job and a salary and an apartment and make a budget. What I noticed is that this course is given in 8th or ninth grade, and then poof, it's gone. No one talks about it again. And by the time you understand what credit is, how it works, or what to do, well, you're probably a few $1,000s in debt. It happens to the best of us. But if I can change that for just one person, then what I share will be worth it. What I have learned while teaching is that there are a lot of questions about money and finances. And although people want to invest their money, and that is a great thought, the basics of money are still unknown. When it comes to investing, time and compounding interest are on your side. And we will definitely get to all of that. But money, what is it? I know what you're thinking. I know what money is. Seriously? Well, most people do know what money is, but what function does it serve? Looking at it from an economic perspective, because, well, why not? That's what I love. Love teaching economics. Money is a medium of exchange. Money is a unit of account. Money is a store of value. What? Great. An economics lesson, you might be thinking. Stay with me here, because understanding the functions of money can only help you to become friends with your finances and make your money work for you if you are open to understanding all of its functions. Money is used for the buying and selling of goods and services without engaging in a barter system, hence a medium of exchange. Society uses monetary units or dollars to measure the relative worth of goods, services, or resources, a unit of account. Money enables you to transfer purchasing power from the present to the future, a store of value, and building wealth. Money in and of itself is not a resource. It allows you to purchase the resources you need, whether that's land, labor, capital, not monetary capital. I'm talking about equipment, tools, and machinery here. Money does not buy happiness, but it can help you get what you need, get what you want, and help you where you want to go. Understanding money and what it can do for you now and in the future is important, and it really doesn't have to be complicated. My first question I want you to think about is, what is the most important thing that you own? I got a lot of answers here. Car, house, condo, my iPhone, laptop, you name it. It is usually something materialistic or tangible. Actually, the most important thing that you own is your credit. So that is where I want you to start. For any of my former or current students listening, I hope you got this question right. I know I definitely stressed it enough. What is credit and why is it important? Credit is trust. Credit is a relationship between a borrower and a lender. If a person wants a car and does not have the money to buy it, they can borrow the money from the bank and pay for the car over a specified period of time. The person must be trusted or have some credit worthiness for the lender to finance the car for the borrower. So why is credit so important? You need credit to purchase a car or rent an apartment or even get a cell phone bill in your own name. Before any of this can be done, a person needs to build their credit profile. But how do you do that? It's possible to be added on your parents' card, and that can build a credit profile for yourself. Or you can obtain a secured card where you give the issuer of the card, maybe Capital One or another banking institution, $300, and they give you a credit card with a $300 limit. You have already secured the card with the deposit you gave. You can use the card to put gas in your car, and you pay off that balance each month to avoid interest charges. Over time, you will build a solid credit file for yourself. Everyone is entitled to a free credit report once a year from all three of the credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Yet I find when talking with my clients that not a lot of people check it. Typically, a person will check their report when they are ready to buy a house, and then they are shocked by what is on their report. Maybe a charge from a few years back that was paid, but never reflected on the report. January is a great time to check your report, and although it can be a little time consuming, it can save you in the end, especially if you are looking to buy that car or that house. Some of my students don't understand the difference between a credit card and a debit card. Credit is borrowing. It's borrowing money to be paid later. Debit is paid now, and it comes out of your account immediately. And if you do know the difference, most people don't know what they spend in a week or a month because they just swipe the debit card over and over and over again. Make it a habit to check your account on a daily basis. You can see what you spent and where you spent it. It is also easier to see if your card was hacked and if there was an unauthorized charge. It's better than waiting until you go to purchase something and your card is declined. That can be embarrassing. Another important thing I like to stress: debt and debt, save and savings, income and wealth. What's the difference? What do I mean by that? You might be thinking, debt and debt? What the hell? What I'm saying is that if you can control your debt now, you can control your debt in the future. If you can save now, you can control your savings in the future. And if you use your income wisely now, you can build wealth for your future. Think about saving for a weekend trip. Seems easy, right? You put some money away for a few weeks, and you have the money to go away for the weekend in May, just like you planned it out. But if I said to put away some money for retirement, you would think that's so far away. There's no way I could think about that. There are different opinions for saving and investing, and different opinions for building an emergency fund and paying off any debt. Let me say that one size does not fit all. People need to feel what's okay for them, what's comfortable. Is it good to get out of your comfort zone? Absolutely. One thing about money is that there is always room for growth. Growth of your knowledge for money, growth of your savings accounts, growth of your accumulating wealth, growth of your comfort level of investing. For now, let's get back to time and consistent efforts, and time and compounding interest. This is how money works for you. Again, nothing that can be done in a day or a week, some patience and long-term thought, and just like a lot of things, you will thank yourself 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and a year from now. Most clients that I work with have a similar response when it comes to savings. They should have started sooner. I think everyone says that. Hindsight creeps up on us at some point or another, referencing something we could have done, should have done, would have done sooner or different or better, but we didn't. The good news is that you can start today. Don't look backwards. If I said that you need to save 25% of your salary to help build a solid financial future, you might say there's no way that you can do that. But if I said I want you to put $10 a week away in a high interest savings account, I bet that's definitely possible. Start small and start at $10 a week, and in 3 months, you will have about $130. Let me assure you that the math is not off here. For those calculating, there are 52 weeks in a year, so $520 saved in a year. Half of that, or 260, saved in 6 months, and half of that amount, or 130, saved in 3 months. If you take 52 weeks divided by 12 months, it's 4.33 weeks per month. So 4.33 times 3 months times $10 is technically $129.90. Either way, starting with just $10 a month can seem ridiculous. $10 a week can seem ridiculous, but with consistency and time, it will add up. Pile interest on top of the savings, and it will just continue to grow. The easiest way to do this is to set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a high yield savings account each week for $10. Look at SoFi, Synchrony, Barclays, or another banking institution that is paying more than 4% on an account with a small or no minimum deposit. What I love about what I do is that I'm always learning something. Be open to learning, be open to listening, be open to asking questions. What more do you want to know about money and credit? Visit my website at your18nowwhat.com and drop me a line. Send a question or a comment. Any questions received will be responded by either email or addressed on the next podcast. Remember, be invaluable for what you share, not what you know. See you next time on Your 18 Now What, when I discuss the cleanup and address some questions. Thanks for joining me.